Well, hello, and welcome to the Points of Interest podcast. This is the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja, and right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
It's end of the year recaps everywhere, and I guess Twitch has one for us apparently.
Oh, really?
I mean, I don't have access to it because I don't own the page, but if you go to twitch.tv/POI Podcast, it should give you a recap of the people who joined and all the good stuff that happened over the year for Points of Interest podcast.
That's awesome. So, I'm going to look at that, and I am going to copy it, and I will tweet it once we maybe tomorrow, since I have a lot of time.
Well, before we get there, because we have a lot to talk about, the one thing I want to say to Twitch is congratulate. Oh, hello, Ginger, by the way. Good evening. Hope you're doing well. The one thing I just want to say about Twitch, which I find hilarious, is that it has found a new way to be not safe for work.
How so?
Well, because women were very, women streamers were very kind to go ahead and wear bikinis and have, pools and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a
hey,
pasty.
Paul, how's it going? Hi, Paul. Good to see you. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're doing well.
Me too.
But yeah, or no, they're not doing pasties. So what they do now is they go braless, topless, but they put the camera right to the very top of their boob, so that you can see they'll do a lot of reasons to move their hands up and down so that their boobs jiggle on screen, and then they're just right there. And more streamers are doing that, where they're just like, we're gonna hide the nipple, but we're gonna show boobie, and I'm like, we need to do that, Josh. For the next era in 2024, the next era of Points of Interest, it's just us with our shirt. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Right there, boobs out. Woo! No. Anyway, so yeah, I just thought that was funny.
It was naturally censored too. So I have such a hairy chest, you couldn't even see my nipple.
Well, that's the point, right? That's the point for the ladies, at least. For the guys, our boobs don't count. So, but you have time. You have time to figure that stuff out.
Yeah, I have a lot of time all of a sudden, Francis, which is funny because we're starting.
How did you get all of this free time? I'm so envious.
Before that, but it's funny because despite having all this free time, we're starting even later than we normally did before. So. But it's because I'm a little stressed, Francis. Yesterday, I go into the workplace that I've been working at for the last 3 years, and was swiftly asked not to come back ever again. And it was caught a little off guard by the action, despite it being a rough last month or so. Still came as a bit of a shock. And now that we're here talking about it to the world, I'm like, I don't really know what to say. To the world, like anybody watches. But
people we hit 50.
I know. I'm just talking shit. But yeah, it just kind of came as a shock, and it just. It's been a long time since I was fired, so it's just kind of like, oh, okay, this is different. But at the same time, I don't really care. Oh, look, there's nipples on my chat. That's awesome. See, I got distracted. Boobs are great, even if they're digital. Boobs are great. It was a distraction enough. Paul, you know what? It's cool because I think the place that I was at, protecting lots of kayfabe, of course. I believe, well, for the uninitiated people, I work in the legal marijuana industry, and the place that I was at produces an edible, and I was there working amongst those peoples. And I think that this particular company is actually a slow sinking ship. So they kind of maybe did me a favor by cutting me. I know they did me a favor because, let's face it, even if we want to change our jobs, most of the times we're complacent and we're lazy. Unless there's a fire under our ass, we really don't go out and search for another job, even if we're sad or whatever at the place that we're at, because XYZ. I worked for a TV cable provider. I hated it. I worked there for almost 10 years. I hated 6 of the years that I was there, but they gave me free TV. So there's like $100 and some odd every month. I didn't have to worry about in budget. You know, so there was a good trade-off, I guess, if you're a TV person. This place, they paid for health insurance. Like, I didn't have to pay a dime for health insurance the last 3 years. So even though the job sucked in a lot of ways and went unrecognized and unappreciated most of the time, there's a trade-off of free healthcare. I'll take it. So now, I don't know what the next adventure is. Something, I don't know. I have no idea. I think I'm done with the weed world. I've done 10 years.
The weed world.
The world of weed. I mean, I got my first badge 8 years ago. So we have to get a badge that says that we're legally able to be in this industry. And the job market does suck right now. Rugged monkey. What was I saying? Get the badge. So this last time, our badges, our license to work in this industry, are good for 2 years at a time. And this past, I don't have my badge with me. This past, maybe OnlyFans. I already showed my nipple for free. You may have missed it. But I wasn't going to renew my badge. I believe it expired in May. I wasn't going to renew it. But then they offered me, a supervisory position. So I was like, all right, well, if you're going to pay for the badge, I'll stick around. But now, I don't know. I have a lead at a dispensary that I'm going to go follow up on, do my due diligence, maybe even take some hours there. I don't know if I want to be in a dispensary again, though. I've run 3. 2 of them were pretty successful. And, I did packaging and did the edible side of things. I think I've fairly accomplished in this industry. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if it's something I need to continue to be involved in. I don't know. I mean, if something comes along with great money, sure, but like in the long run, I don't know if it's. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, this is the hardest part, right? Because again, it was unplanned. It just happens. Well, yeah, every firing or letting go is unplanned. But Yeah.
Why do they require you to give 2 weeks before you quit, but they don't give you 2 weeks before they fire you?
Well, because they know. So there's
I'm just being an asshole.
Give the 2 weeks, you'll still work. You'll still work like a normal person. If they give you 2 weeks, you'll just leave anyway, or just half-ass the job.
I mean, once you put your 2 weeks in, are you really going 100% still?
That's my point, right? That's why they're like, well, no. Well, for the 2 weeks, they're like, at least you're not gonna sabotage the place. At least you're just gonna because you want to stay in good graces. You're leaving. You want them to be like cool with you or whatever. Usually you want to. That's why they think it'll be all right. But yeah, I don't know, man. Look, it's tough.
It is.
I recommended you doing this more, which I think you could do. We're technically affiliates now, or whatever it's called, partners. Not partners. I think partners is like the when you have like thousands.
When you have
But,
nipples
we can
that you can show.
when you have nipples. So we have the opportunity to like make a few bucks doing this if possible. So I wouldn't put it against doing a few more days a week.
Oh, for sure.
While you're looking for work to do something like this, but yeah, no, yeah, you're right, Jeremy. 2 weeks is nicely, but no legal requirement, and yeah, it is putting a fire. There is a fire that gets lit when you're not working.
Oh, for sure.
Oh well, I guess I'm just gonna have to do this thing.
Right. And, I mean, like, I kind of took today to just kind of like get over being depressed, which I knew right away when I woke up at fucking 8:30.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, I haven't slept till 8:30 in 15 years or something like that. It's been a long time. I don't sleep in.
No. Yeah. I mean, I feel
and
weird
even
now.
it's just, I get like 5, 6.5 hours of sleep at night. That's all this body needs. And the brain probably needs more, but that's all the body needs, and the body fucking runs everything.
Sure.
The stomach really runs everything. But what was I saying?
I know you sleep in now.
Yeah, so I mean, like, just sitting there, I couldn't even get my ass out of bed this morning. I'm like, okay, let's just take the day to fucking be depressed, have yourself a coffee, have some donuts.
Oh, very nice.
And then, I got my resume fixed, looking nice. And then, let's hit it hard tomorrow, do the unemployment, and wait for that fight I'm sure I'll have to deal with.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. That's going to be so exciting.
I mean, like, I was super prepared the last time I got fired, which was 10 years ago, I think. Yeah. About 10 years ago.
Okay.
And I applied for unemployment, and they informed me, the unemployment office informed me that they were going to appeal my claim, and that I either needed to show up to court or like, a mediary, thing someplace, or call in. And I'm like, why the fuck would I drive down someplace, put pants on, when I can do this over the phone, naked?
Yeah, those are the pants. Allow me to be bottomless, please.
Yeah.
If you're going to me do this.
So I call in at the appropriate time. They put me on hold for like 20 minutes. They come back. They're like, they didn't show up for their appeal that they asked for. So you're good to go. I'm sending you your first check right now. I'm like, oh, gee, thanks. So no pants, exactly. Yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully the process hasn't changed that much in 10 years. And, while I'm looking for something else, or, making a little money on the side here and there, on OnlyFans,
yeah,
that the unemployment check can come in and, level things out so I can get toilet paper and stuff like that,
As long as you're looking for work, that's all they care about, and lasts a few years, at least here. So it's just like, you have a few requirements.
You have to, I think the requirement here is you have to put in at least 5 applications a day. And you're supposed
That's a lot, actually.
You're supposed to record all. I mean, yes, but I was doing like 25 the last time I needed a job.
Okay.
And you're supposed to record all of these, and then all the interviews you go to, you're supposed to record all of this. So in case you get audited, you can provide this information.
Okay. Sure.
And yeah, last time I did unemployment, I was good to go, and then I got a job, and then they let me go like 2 months after I started. So I was like, well, I've got like 4 months left of unemployment. I'm just going to start that back up.
Oh, jeez.
So when I started it back up, they were like, well, hold on a second. You haven't needed anything for the last 2.5 months. Why do you need it now? And they're like,
They
okay.
have record of you having work, though. I mean, they have
Yeah,
some
but
record
then
of
I didn't
something.
have work. I didn't work there very long.
Oh,
I was only there for like 2 months, month and a half, 3 months tops.
no.
So I was like, I'm just going to restart what I have left.
Sell Amway or sell.
It's really funny because protected kayfabe. I have a friend who is doing an quote unquote Amway scam of not scam. It's a scam.
Oh, you can't. They don't think it's a scam.
They don't think it's a scam. An Amway business triangle thing.
The pyramid. Scheme.
Pyramid. That's what I meant to say. It's just funny because a few weeks ago she called me, which who calls people? But she called me and was like, "Hey, what do you like to do for you? How do you like your job?" And I was like, it's rough right now, but things are fine. They pay for my insurance. Things are cool. Why are you asking? Oh, because, I know this guy, and I was like, no, just stop talking, person. Well, no, because it would be really good. No. Well, what do you want to do for work? Not sell whatever products you're trying to slang on me right now? I mean, we've been friends for 20-something odd years. Let's not go down this road.
People fall into that trap all the time.
Yes, they do.
Wow. I love that Paul has Illuminati symbols.
Oh, I didn't need that's awesome. That's the other thing. I need to get my glasses. I need to get a new prescription, I think, because it's been 3 years and I've just not gone back, and I need to now.
You're supposed to go every year.
Yeah, well,
You're supposed to go.
I've never had health insurance, Francis, my entire life until now. So, and then now I don't really have it again. So I got to use it up for the end of the month, I think. So
get all of your appointments in
exactly
under their bill before the end of the month. You have 2 weeks to go.
Exactly. So I could find some place and get an eye appointment, I'm sure, in the next 2 days or so.
Easy.
Yeah, they're never busy. But yeah, I need to get that done, and so I can at least get a new pair of glasses for the new place I'll be working at, because since this last place scratched the shit out of these. But yeah, it's I'll bounce back. It's fine. It's just, damn, it was shocking, and now it's just like, all right, whatever. They had an agenda. They didn't like me opening my mouth and being a squeaky wheel. I think I learned my lesson, Francis. I'm just going to go to work, do my job, and go home and keep my opinions, I guess. I'll just vent to you on Tuesdays and just be like, man, this place, they should, and I wish they, and yada, yada. And then I'll go back to work on Wednesday and just clock in and do my job. I don't know if I can do that because,
unfortunately,
kind of a born leader, Francis, when it comes to workplaces. But I'll see if I can. I'll see if I could just do my job and just get a paycheck. Not try to be somebody.
I know that boat. When that boat's a rocking, you want to come a knocking. So I get you.
I mean, usually when things are a rocking, it's a good thing. I don't know why businesses consider rocking a bad thing.
It just sucks. Again, the biggest issue is that you want to make things better, and they just won't let you. So what are you gonna do?
I mean, it's not just like me being like, oh, I wish it was this way because this is the way that I want it. No, this is the way I've been here for 3 years. This is what the people that work here that do the actual work have been saying. This is the way that they would like it. They're just all too scared to say anything. I, who doesn't give a fuck, am gonna say something.
Well, now you know. Now you know the consequences. Now you know.
I need to give
what happened.
Like 3 fucks, and just go to
three?
work. Well, I guess. I don't know. It's a nice number.
It's tough. It's tough. You know, like it is tough. You know, it's tough to stay quiet. But
It is. It is. And it's
I
just,
mean, hey, maybe the next place will appreciate that you actually care.
I guess maybe it came in a bit spoiled or something with the last two places being mom and pop dispensaries and them looking to me and the other workers, not just me. I'm not taking all the credit, but the other people that work there to be like, how can we make this better? Like, you guys are the ones that are here. You guys are the ones that deal with everything. What would be best? You know, and the first place I was like, I'm brand new to this industry. They're like, yes, but you also have worked in retail. You know how retail works. Help us. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that.
Well, Paul and Rugged have good points. Yeah, it's hard to be a slave. Yeah, especially harder when you have to keep your pie hole shut, like you recommended.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's you know, we're old enough to be able to shake our fists at the younger generation, I think. I mean, when I would say like a good number of them want to work as an influencer and as a person who just plays video games or something and have people watch them or show their boobs without showing their boobs. I mean, like,
Or walk around a mall with a security guard and talk shit to people.
oh, that's just what? Yeah, or that, yeah.
A bodyguard,
But,
not a security guard, bodyguard.
There's a bodyguard. I know what you meant. But yeah, yeah, I think a lot of people just are willing to just be quiet and, you know, be hidden, because if they don't point at you, at least nothing bad can happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though sometimes they point at you and give you a raise and give you, a promotion, but
So
that's rare.
Here's the funniest thing. The funniest thing about the whole situation.
Why is that funny?
No, I'm about to tell you what's funny. Is that my last review, my boss told me that she would really like for me to find my voice.
Lies.
Then when I go around and fucking turn the volume up on my voice, I get fired. So what the fuck what do you want? You want me to say things or do you want me to just shut the fuck up? What do you want?
You want to appease you.
I
want to make sure that you know.
I'm not there to appease.
Ooh.
I'm there to do a job. You know what?
Rugged.
Your voice,
right.
but their words.
Your voice, but their words.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong there. Probably not wrong. But you know, it's hard. It's use your words wisely.
Right.
My two direct bosses had less time in that building collectively than I do. Like, I have more time than them collectively. And so it's like hard to take direction from somebody that hasn't been there as long as you and be like, this is the way it's going. It's like, yeah, but you just got here like 3 weeks ago. What do you mean? This is how we do it. You just got here. What's this we shit? I don't know.
I know. I think Paul wants you to beat them up because he keeps using kapow, kapow, kapow. And fire.
I mean,
he's going to burn down the building.
I wish I knew enough Miley Cyrus lyrics to make some sort of punny thing there, because that's who this person kind of looked like. Like Miley Cyrus with like a, never mind, I won't say it. But you know, I won't be going there anymore. Sadly, not sadly. Sadly, I'll be missing out on the people that were there.
Right.
The relationships that you build, even if those relationships are solely glued together by the workplace. There's still things that, you know, you miss out on. The fun quips and insider jokes and shit like that. You miss out on all those, but
camaraderie.
that's the word. See, this is why you got the vocabulary. I just feed you the hints, and then you give me the right word.
Oh, there you
go. But just like, you know, when I worked for that TV provider, one of my favorite things there was they had like a short order, like line cook for breakfast.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You can get lunch there too, but the breakfast was so good to the point where after I left there, I would go back to see my friends sometimes in the mornings and be like, hey, can you go order me some breakfast and bring it out with you? We can go smoke a bowl or something. It was fancy.
Okay.
It was very fancy. It was nice too. You know, and then like this place, I'll miss out on the conversations and whatnots. But just like every place else, man, it's just another stepping stone. You learn. Maybe I learned something. Maybe I learned shut the fuck up. I don't know if I can, but
well, I mean,
you know, I think I learned a lesson.
You always work for, I don't know, a convention, maybe one that does video games. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe like E3 or something.
Actually, well, I started to watch the G4 documentary today, and this one was not the copy in which I was provided was not a legitimate copy.
Oh, sure. Pirate. Yeah.
Right. And me being the snob that I am, although I was enjoying myself, it looked like shit. So I wasn't paying attention to it because it looked like it was all at like 320 instead of like not even 720. 480, I guess it would have been, right? But yeah, so it reminded me of the news that happened today that E3 has officially died. I thought it died in 2020. I didn't even know it ever came back. So I was like, oh, it died? That sucks. Moving on. It would have been awesome to go. I had tickets when I ran a video game store back in the day. They sent us tickets every year. I had tickets to go. All I had to do was be like, yeah, here, put my name on these. And then fly out. But I was 18, 19 years old. I had no money to fly out on $8 an hour.
Right.
Life is full of challenges. It's all how you deal with the positive or negative. It is.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And things like this, things like getting fired, things like, whatever you got to overcome, they light a fire under your ass, and you get to where you need to get to. A little bit faster.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
A little bit faster. But yeah, E3 said no more. We're done. No more industry. No more peoples. No more games. No more booth babes. Not that there's been any of those in 10 years, but gone. It's all gone.
They went back and forth on babes. They went back and forth on that. But yeah, you're right. It is gone. Not wrong. It is gone.
From May 95 was the first year, that makes sense because I was working at a game store back then too.
You mean they almost made a 30th anniversary? If they lasted another year, they would have hit a 30th anniversary.
They would have, yeah. And it's weird because I thought that it was always open to the public. Maybe because I was working at game stores and getting tickets every year. I didn't know it was industry only up until look at my notes, 2016. Yeah. I for sure thought it was open to the public much longer than that.
Yeah.
But I guess all the videos, all the footage I'd ever seen at E3, those were all industry people.
Well, no, their journos would bring their friends, or people who ran stores would bring their friends. A lot of the civilians were connected to the people who were in the industry.
Right. Which, I mean, had I gone, I would have been one of those fools in the crowd hooting and hollering and whatnot. Because working at a video game store is not being a part of the video game industry. I'm sorry, but
Right.
like,
Well, sort of. I mean,
it's so ancillary.
Sort of.
It's like you're the crab on the hair of the nut of the giant.
I mean, but there needed to be enough people to where lines to see demos and lines to play demos were like 6 hours long. Because that's what the biggest complaint about E3 was that if you weren't a journalist, like, and a big journalist at that, like a GameSpot or an IGN, you would have to wait in like a 6 hour line to or whatever. Like you spend your entire day.
Didn't they used to have like
the latest Legend of Zelda or something?
Like journalist lines and then just industry lines for some things. I might be Mandela-ing something, but I swear I saw something at some point in the history of E3 that they had like journalist demo units and then like everybody else units.
I don't know. But yeah, Paul, you're right. Game Awards is now it's why it's 3 hours of trailers, 10 minutes of rewards. It has replaced E3 because we don't have anything else, right? PlayStation event sometimes do their thing. Nintendo sometimes do their thing. Microsoft sometimes does their thing. Like,
no, I mean not even sometimes. They do it. They definitely do it. EDC is it called?
They do it, but they don't do it as often.
Is it EDC or is that the rave?
EDC is the rave. That's
That's the rave in Vegas. What's it was always E3, and then there's another industry convention after E3.
Oh, there's the developers. There's the is it the developers?
GDC? Game developers?
GDC, Game Developers Conference. Thank you.
Okay.
Game Developers Conference, yeah.
That was the one where everybody seemed to be, more gravitating towards. I believe it was that one. Or it was one that was in Europe. I don't recall. But after E3 started dwindling, like right around the same time G4 kind of started going away. Not that they had anything to do with each other, but just this, like their coverage of E3 was smaller. Their presence was smaller because the whole thing was smaller. I forgot where I was going with that. Gone.
So Game Developer Conference was supposed to replace E3 as E3 lost its luster.
As everything was kind of losing its luster, PlayStation, Microsoft, who makes Fallout?
Bethesda.
Who makes Assassin's Creed? Bethesda.
Oh God.
No,
I don't remember.
EOS or something like that, or like they all these companies started putting on their own little conferences, either at E3 where they wouldn't even show anything to the E3 at the E3 LA Coliseum or wherever the fuck it was.
Right.
They would be at the ancillary building next to the Staples Center. Whatever. I'm jumping all over LA, I know. But they would be in the ancillary building next to it, and they would put on the Microsoft showcase. And instead of showing it at E3, it was dink at E3, but over here in this old retired firehouse or something.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. So, I mean, that was the whole point of E3 was seeing all those trailers and seeing the game demos. But then when the company started doing them on their own, it's like, what do you need E3 for?
Well, because we didn't have streaming wasn't a thing, 2 or 3 years ago. Thank you. This was all kind of pushed, and I do believe this. I think COVID pushed this all to happen. I think the pandemic forced all the hand of a lot of people to do a lot of things, and one of which was we have to stream everything because you can't be there. And the developers were like, "You just have to stream a thing? We could do that. That's easy. Oh, okay, we'll just do that then. Why do we need a place to? Why do we need to spend money to fly people out to a location, pay for like big old displays and like big marquees and all that stuff? Why are we spending that money? We just
pay Keanu Reeves to come out, tell everybody he loves them.
Well, that Game Awards does that now, right? Like,
Well.
yeah, you're right. E3 did that. They were the last one to do that, but the Game Awards now got like Timothée Chalamet, and they got like a bunch of like different actors, and like Hollywood came for the Game Awards and did like made comments and talked about games. I'm like, you guys are weird. Stop talking about games.
Right.
But they did, and so the Game Awards does that now. But yeah, no, E3. Yeah, so the company's like, yeah, we'll just stream everything, no big deal. Yeah, that sounds like a plan, and so no more booth babes, no more demos, because who cares? You can just put out a demo on Steam or something, and then you're done.
And that was one of the cool things, especially when Xbox Live really started taking off. When E3 did come around, or even afterward when it was the Microsoft showcase, and they would showcase whatever games were coming up, and here's some demos of some stuff. All right, now that we just showed all these to you, as soon as we're done here, they're going live. All the demos, all the games that you saw here have playable demos. They're all going to be live. And
Right.
I mean, at the time, I was already watching it anyway, because, I was a lot more neck deep at the time. But it was great to be like, oh, here's the Assassin's Creed, whatever version of that. They just showcased it. That looked a lot of fun. Oh, shit, now I get to play one level over and over and over and over again. That's great. I'll do that.
Yeah, but you got you were the first at E3. You were the first to play that level.
Sure.
You were the first to
Sure.
to see it, and you got to write about it or blog about it, and you got to be like, look, none of you can touch VR, or none of you can play. I don't know, whatever.
None of you can enjoy the Virtual Boy like I just got to enjoy.
Exactly. Yeah. And you get to see things that never show up in the real world because nobody cares afterwards. But yeah, like that's the craziness of the it's the end of an era. That's the craziness of the disappearance of E3. I've always wanted to go.
Like I said,
I don't know if I don't remember applying to it when I was doing conventions. I probably should have. I may have. I don't remember, but I wish I did. If I didn't,
that is something I can definitely say I never even thought of applying for. Never once in this last 10
we
years.
had podcasts for it. So.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like it never crossed my mind that like that would be a possibility at all until this conversation right now, where it could have been possible. Not anymore. Maybe
not anymore.
The GDC or whatever they call it. EDC, no, not EDC, something else. I keep getting confused. Letters, man. There's too many letter acronyms.
Letters.
It's the Christmas season, and what is this? Game Pass is pretty good at supporting and suggesting people try more indie games and Citizens. Like Citizen Sleeper. Game Pass for the Xbox is pretty rad. I enjoy it a lot. There's a couple games on there that I've been playing for a couple years now. One game I bought because I was like, okay, clearly I'm playing a lot of this. Which
yeah, but the point of the pass is that you never have to buy it.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not always there because they do, just like everything else, things come and go, like Netflix movies and TV shows or Hulu or anything else. there was I don't even like baseball. I think baseball is one of the most boring sports in the world. But hitting home runs and basically playing wiffle ball in a video game form, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Especially when you break the game and it doesn't allow you to continue counting home runs because it didn't think anybody would hit more than the number they put in.
Okay. Sounds like a fun game, I guess. If you hitting the home runs, definitely.
The version I was playing, they don't have it anymore because it's a yearly release. They just brought in the new year, which is cool. It's the same game basically, right? But for whatever reason, maybe because it's not true DRM, the save file that you have from the previous game, you can't import that information because the game doesn't exist anymore. I don't know how it works.
I don't know either. But
I don't know.
That works.
But being the Christmas season, Francis.
Yes. Ho, ho, ho.
People, now I have a machine gun. People be watching the Christmas movies, whether they be more on the family-friendly side, like Home Alone or the Rankin and Bass claymation things, stop motion things, whatever they were, or maybe something more on the more aggressive side, like Violent Night, which was great if you haven't seen that.
Yeah.
But I'm more into the classic Christmas movies, Francis, when it comes to the more aggressive and just like Rugged Monkey, Die Hard is right up there at the top of the list. Gremlins, a lot of people forget first Gremlins movie is a Christmas movie. It's a horror Christmas movie, but a Christmas movie.
I think the second one is too, isn't it? I think the second one is too.
No, the second one is a fucking comedy.
But isn't it set in Christmas though? Still, that's why he gets the car as a gift, the little pink car that Gizmo drives in.
I don't recall.
Okay. Well, keep going then. Sorry, keep going.
Okay. But Die Hard, Lethal Weapon are two of my favorite Christmas movies. And you, Francis, went and saw Die Hard in the theater. And I felt super jelly. So as soon as I saw the picture that you were going to see Die Hard or had seen Die Hard in a theater, I went to my Google machine and found a showing of Die Hard at a local theater here. And I went and enjoyed Die Hard, which I never saw as a child, in a theater, I should say. And part of being an adult is going to see all the movies you didn't get to see as a kid because you were too young. But as an adult, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So I went and saw Die Hard in glorious 2-channel stereo sound. And here's the best part. I was alone. I went to the theater, or to the theater by myself. I do that all the time. That's great. But there was nobody in the theater with me. And I'm pretty sure it costs more than the $12.50 I paid to play said movie.
I mean, so I saw it in Dolby Surround. So I was a little bit more bassy, a little more like you heard you felt the explosions, you felt the gunfire. Oh God, could you feel the gunfire? Every time they shot a gun, it was just like you felt it. Like the seats rattled. It was so powerful. But mine was only a third full, and I was really in shock because I'm like, I saw Jaws, I think, either last year or earlier this year. I can't remember. That one was full. Like, that one had a full theater, and it was about the same size theater. And I'm like, how is no one watching Die Hard? Like, Die Hard is such a, is iconic. Like, you get to re-experience. You're right. I didn't get to experience Jaws. I didn't get to experience Die Hard in the movie theaters. I wasn't born yet when Jaws was in movie theaters. So I got to see all that stuff firsthand in glorious, whatever the size of that screen was. Like, it was beautiful. And to be able to see Die Hard in that same way and hear, you know, Bing Crosby or whatever, no, Dean Martin sing Let It Snow at the end. It's very just, I forgot that, like, the end credits of an 80s movie is the background just keeps moving while the credits scroll. Like, oh yeah.
I was really disappointed after watching a lot of 80s action films. I was really disappointed in my first fight when I punched somebody and it didn't sound like a gunshot.
Okay.
If you watch a lot of action films, go back and watch, really pay attention. A lot of punches and kicks, they sound like shotguns going off and 9mm going off.
I didn't notice it here.
In Die Hard? Oh my God, every time he punches somebody, it sounds like a shotgun's going off.
Oh, I might have missed that then. It sounded like a punch. It felt like a punch. It was the gunshot that it felt like were like shotgun. Every pistol was like a shotgun blast because it was just so loud and so all over the place. But
I would have enjoyed that.
I know what you're talking.
I would have enjoyed that over the two-channel stereo. Also, if it was in surround, I wouldn't have been so self-conscious about my loud popcorn eating in an empty-ass theater, not knowing at the time I was by myself. Like, I'm sitting there, like, eating the popcorn. I'm like, there's nobody else in here making noise. I got to eat the popcorn during loud moments of the trailers and commercials and then the movie. I don't want to make people listen to me eat. And I was too embarrassed and not curious enough to just stand up and turn around and be like, is anybody else in here? I waited till the end of the movie.
Well,
and I turned out, nobody came in or left. I was in a prime spot to see either side of people coming, you know, from left or right. Nobody came in or out. So Regal Cinemas played a movie just for me.
Sometimes they play movies just for no one. So
is that, I mean, like, is that really a thing? Like, if nobody buys a ticket, the movie still gets, is it just, okay, because I don't know how a movie theater works, so excuse the ignorance, but, like, I imagine things are, you know, you set them up in a rack and they just, you know, this movie's done playing, let's start playing the next movie. And it would be too hard to re-rack, so you just let them stay in there. And
so, well, I'll answer this. I'll answer it in a second. I'm just going to really quickly mention some of the chats. I agree with Ragged. The best way now to watch Die Hard is to go ahead and put a hat in the corner of the TV because there is a lot of close-up shots, a lot of close-up face shots. So at some point, yes, the hat will appear on their head. If you want to get just wasted drunk, that's the way to do it. So there you go.
I mean, how about I don't remember I would do it. I would have to smoke, smoke a bowl or take a hit every time the hat lined up on somebody's head because I don't drink.
You'll just be gone.
I would be so foo-schnickered.
Yeah, you'd just be gone. I do remember the California Raisins commercials. I didn't realize there were Christmas specials though, Paul. So that's really interesting that there's California Raisins Christmas specials.
Yes. I have
I don't remember
a very fuzzy picture in my head of the Raisins wearing scarves and Christmas hats.
Yeah.
Maybe singing.
Ragged answered my question.
What was that? Oh, in case somebody shows up late.
Why they play?
Yeah.
Because you're allowed up to half an hour past the movie to buy a ticket, and then it gets taken off the queue.
But
marquee.
But at the same time, because other people paid for tickets, they just didn't show up. Because I got to choose my seat.
I think it's possible. Yeah.
And there was like 6 people. And I made sure to sit nowhere near those 6 people.
Oh, that you saw already.
That had already purchased tickets. And then when I walked in, the trailers were almost over. And I was concentrated on where my seat was. So I didn't look, elsewhere. And I just sat down and started eating popcorn all loud and rowdy. And then I got self-conscious because I didn't hear anything. I didn't feel any presence. I didn't hear anybody else. And I was too embarrassed or scared to just, or stoned to just stand up and be like, anybody in here? But like I said, I waited till the end of the movie and then turned around and looked, and there was nobody in the theater. And I'm like, I could have chosen any seat in here. But it's all right.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. And I think for the big movie, when we were, so I think it's easier to do that nowadays because all movies are digital. So you don't have reels anymore. I'm sure Die Hard came as a Blu-ray, or actually, I bet you anything, it was downloaded as a movie, and then you just have to play. But back when you had to reel everything, you had to play it because in case somebody did come in late, and you had to play it all the way through because you can't unreel a movie, right? You can't. I mean, I guess you can technically, but the amount of work it's just easier to just let it go and let the machine take it. Because you're wasting. You have to be somewhere else, reeling up the next film.
Right.
That's what I loved. Oh, I loved being a projectionist because it was just like you were always moving. You know, you had to move it end. I gotta make sure. Oh, gotta thread it. Oh, gotta really thread. And then like, oh no, movie's stop. Oh, I gotta go to the other side. Make sure it threads. Oh, I gotta start it. And then like it was hectic but a lot of fun. Probably my favorite job at the movie theater. You never saw anybody.
Rugged Monkey had something fun to say here, saying that reserving seats is still weird for him, and that he remembers still showing up 30 minutes early before a movie just to get a good seat.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've mentioned this here, or maybe not. I know I mentioned it in Super Geeked Up, but
Wednesday nights at 10:30 Eastern.
14 hours. I sat in line for 14 hours to watch Revenge of the Sith.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That was episode 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody in our friend group went and bought tickets for us all for Phantom Menace. And at the time, what was that? Early 2000s, right? Late 90s,
yes.
Early 2000s? 2001? Yeah,
maybe 99. Maybe 99. Yeah.
Either way, I was freshly 21, and I remember getting super drunk before seeing Phantom Menace, and I walked out with a lot of blunt reactions, and they were correct.
Oh, well, you're one of the few. People loved. Some people loved.
Oh, I wasn't a fan. Still not a fan. There's parts of it I like. All the Darth Maul parts are fucking still awesome. The rest of the movie is some weird political, half-action political thing. There's so much exposition.
It's all about trade agreements, man. Ugh. Those pesky trade agreements with the Trade Federation. Yeah. But yeah, look, even Rugged skip school for Attack of the Clones. So Star Wars does that to you, where you'll skip to watch a movie.
I remember people I used to work with would skip because a game came out. They skip work or skip school because a new game came out.
They still do that.
That's true. Yeah. But nobody has to go to a midnight release now. They just download it.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
But I only went to a few midnight releases, and they were fun, rowdy, out of control. It was a good time. It was a great time.
Yeah.
Is what Halo 2, and I don't remember what the other one is. Halo 2, I remember vividly. So maybe it was one of the Revenge of the Sith game. I think they did a midnight release for that. I remember playing it.
Very popular. Revenge of the Sith was a very popular game
because it had clips of Revenge of the Sith, and it hadn't the movie hadn't come out yet. So getting those little clips of like the first action scene where the Obi-Wan and Anakin are fighting, in the Trade Federation ship right there at the beginning with they jump out of their ships and everything. That was a little clip that was in the Revenge of the Sith game, and I'm like, holy shit, this movie's gonna be amazing. It was mostly.
It was.
The game wasn't. It was. Game kind of sucked. Movie was really good though.
I think the game was the better part. Like, was okay of the games.
Of the games, Revenge of the Sith was the better of the three. The second one was horrid.
But yeah. So Rugged stayed up late for Modern Warfare.
Nice.
Which, yeah, people will do it for GTA 6. People will do midnight taps for that.
People are. I love the internet. People are making some great memes. Like they posting a picture when they first got GTA 5 in 2013 or whenever it came out, and then posted a picture of them now, behind the house that they bought or with the, pallet full of kids that they have now or whatever. It's like it's a long time since that game came out.
Yeah, 10 years. A lot can happen in 10 years.
A lot can happen, and. Like we talked about last week, like the trailer's cool. The map has been leaked. If you want to see the map, it's got pretty much all the major spots of Florida represented.
Right.
But until there's gameplay, whatever.
I mean, apparently those were in-game graphics. So, I mean, it wasn't gameplay, but apparently, like, that was in-game. Like, those weren't pre-rendered. It was in the engine.
Okay, I mean that's awesome, but still.
Yeah.
I
get it.
There's like I said, there's nothing to get excited for unless you see what you're going to be doing. Movie trailers don't always have everything that's in the trailer in the movie.
No, but like, just play GTA 5 and you've played GTA 6, really, right?
Basically.
Like, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, if you played GTA 3, you've played GTA 6.
I think the only difference is that you get more immersion, you get probably more booby. Like, that's going to be a thing. So, like, that's it. Like, you'll just get a little more nudity, a little more violence. But it's essentially the same game for, like, the last 20 years.
Easily.
It's the same game. You kill people, you rob them, you steal cars, you buy houses. It's like, it's nothing. There's nothing. Nothing.
Have you ever finished a GTA game? Or do you just play about 50% of the story and just be like, whatever, and then you just start causing mayhem?
That's usually, yeah. I don't think I've ever. No, I think I finished the PlayStation 2's Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I think I finished that one. I think that's the only one I finished. But every other Grand Theft Auto, I never finished. Like this one, the 5th, I kind of want to play it again because I'm reminded of like, oh right, it's LA, and I kind of like that it's LA, so I should probably play it again because it's LA. But I'm also like, yeah, I'm gonna just get bored. I'm just gonna get bored in the end anyway. I'm not gonna play much of it. Even though I thought the story is interesting and stuff, I'm like, yeah, I'll just get bored. I don't care that much. But yeah, you're right, Rugged. It's just GTA 5 with mods pre-installed. You're absolutely right. That's it. Nexus mod to the nth degree on that one.
Well, as long as everything's not wet, because that's like everybody's favorite GTA mod is just make everything wet. So everything is shiny.
Which is so weird because it's in LA, and I'm like, LA is dry. It's
yeah.
Why are you guys trying to make it wet in there? And they leave it alone.
But it's like you go look at GTA 5 mods. That's on the top 5 or top 10 in everybody's list is some sort of rainy mod or wet mod of some sort.
Or a reshading.
Yeah, a lot of reshading.
There's a reshade.
I don't mess with reshading. My computer is screaming every time I play GTA anyway. So I don't need to, the graphics card does fine. It's the CPU. It's just like, please stop.
it's just whining.
The fan just immediately kicks up. But yeah, the modding community and the ability to do that in GTA is awesome, because playing the game, the story mode, like I said, I've never finished a GTA game. I play, and then it's just like, meh. Let's just go around and cause chaos. What can we do here? Or in the PC's case, I didn't even play the game. I downloaded it just so I could mod the shit out of it and be a cop within the world of GTA.
So weird. A game all about criminality, and you went and wanted to be the cop.
Well, I mean, there is a mod where you don't have to do the story mode. You can create a character and just cause chaos and be a criminal, be the other side of it. That might be fun to do one time too. Because then the cops would,
the role-playing community the role-playing community in Grand Theft Auto is pretty huge. I used to watch people where all they did was pretend to be an old lady or like some random dude, and they'd interact with other people who were in the game, and it's like, this is how you play? Weird. You're not even shooting each other, you're just talking.
Yep.
This is really
there's a group of guys that I watch still. I mean, they haven't put a video out in 6 years, but I watch their old stuff. There was a condiments gang in one of the series that they had, where there was a guy dressed in all black, there was a guy dressed in white, yellow, red, and they were named salt, pepper, ketchup, mayonnaise, whatever. It's just like, that's how they addressed each other. That's how, like, one of the guys that was playing, that you're watching his screen, he's like, oh, that guy over there, ketchup. I hate the fact that I'm calling this guy ketchup. This shit is just, it's kind of fun that way. Or the names, the fake names that they come up with, their character names. Like, isn't that the name of Walter, the Walter guy from the meth cooking show? What was his name? Walter White?
Oh, Walter White from Breaking Bad. Okay.
Yeah. Or isn't that the name of the guy that Unsolved Mysteries or something? Like, it's just kind of funny. In that side of the modding community, the 5M, I think is what it is, where they have it all set up where you create a character, you have an ID in the game, you can go and apply and get a concealed weapons license. Like, you go to quote unquote jail. One of them has a court system. Like, it's crazy how the modding community takes a game that's just there, whatever the game is, and to turn it into something else. Red Dead Redemption. Yeah. There's a whole role-playing community for Red Dead Redemption. Like a cops and robbers type of roleplay. It's insane to me.
Yeah.
Again, another game I never finished.
It's crazy.
How we got talking to that from Die Hard, I don't know. But I was going to ask you, do you think theaters are... What? Oh, yeah. Do you think theaters are dying?
Define dying.
Like, well, I mean, I just went to a movie theater that had nobody in it. Yeah, yes, it was for a movie that was, 20 years old and not advertised. But even when I went and saw, okay, that's not a good example either. Godzilla -1. Very niche. And all the movies I've seen before that. The only movie I saw before that was crowded and full was Barbie. Every movie I've seen this year, whether they were through a presser event or something I went to go do on my own, there's nobody at the movie theaters.
Well, yes and no. I think movie theaters aren't dying. I think movies are dying. I think movies are in general bad. in the sense of just like they're just not entertaining.
Sure.
Whatever the type of movie it is, they're just not entertaining anymore. But Oppenheimer did really well. Barbie did really well. You know, movies like that do really well, and they have like a little bit of that gimmick. Godzilla has that gimmick, did well. I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say there's no real movie coming up that's gonna do well. Like Wonka's not gonna do great. Aquaman's not gonna do great. Like there's a lot, but they're all those are bad. I don't know if Wonka's bad, but Aquaman we know is a bad movie. Aquaman 2 is gonna be a bad movie. And I think there's just more and more bad movies. I think there's just bad films that they're putting out there that nobody wants to see. And so what do you do with that? You do nothing. And Rugged points out, it doesn't help that when you get shows or series that are higher quality and better storylines that you can stream.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think Paul is saying wook. I don't know. I don't know if it's wook or woke, but either way. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. All I know is that
wook television would be interesting because I don't know how it would ever get made. Wooks aren't
either,
really known to, you know, be go-getters. They're more into trading things for sandwiches and shit.
I don't know what a wook is anymore now. I thought you were thinking like Wookiee, but now I don't know what
no,
a wook is.
Okay, well, a wook is like a super hippie.
Oh.
Hey, I'm at the concert.
Yeah.
Hey man, I see you're eating that hot dog. You want to trade some rocks for that hot dog? You know, that's like what a wook would be. No, that's fucked up.
Well,
it's like picture most Grateful Dead fans.
or Fish fans, I guess.
Or Fish fans, that would be more contemporary, I guess. Even Fish isn't really contemporary.
No, that's. I don't know why you keep putting fire in Paul, but I really find that funny. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
we're just on
however,
fire.
Whatever it is, all I know is that like whatever Disney's doing, Disney is a good example of a company that is just making movies that nobody wants to watch. Nobody saw Wish, nobody saw the Marvels, nobody saw like all of these movies that they put out there. Disney has tried to be like, look at us, we have all these really great movies, and people are just like, no, they're not. We're not watching them, and people just don't watch those movies. So I love the movie theater still. I'm still a big fan. I'm gonna watch Wonka, for instance. I'm gonna go ahead and watch that this weekend. I think maybe.
I
haven't decided yet.
Well, I mean, I've been to the theater the last 2 weekends in a row, I think, or maybe it was every other.
Yeah.
But I've been a lot recently. So maybe I'll go see something too. But since I have all this free time,
Just saying, you could watch on like a discounted day, like
matinee.
they try to entice people to come during the week, so you can go during a discounted day.
Yeah, that's true. See what other Christmas movies might be.
Tuesdays are like,
unadvertised and playing.
I'm sure National Lampoon is playing somewhere.
Well, that'd be cool because I've already watched that like 3 times. That'd be cool to see that in the theater.
Yeah. I'm sure Home Alone is going to be out there somewhere. Like, I'm sure these movies exist in theaters somewhere. But yeah, I don't. I have very little faith that movies are going to improve in the next few years. There's nothing big that anyone cares about that's coming up.
Wolverine or Deadpool, I mean.
Oh, Deadpool. Yeah, well, yeah, but that's not for another 2 years. So I don't know.
Okay, I mean, well, like again, that's the same kind of when GTA 6 isn't supposed to be out for two more years. I can't be excited for that. True. Same thing for Deadpool. Like, it's cool they're making it, but I can't be excited about it until you show me something. Give me a teaser.
Yeah, that's what the Game Awards did that with a bunch of new games. They're like, yeah, look at all these wonderful games coming out in 2025. I'm like, I don't.
Actually, to go back to all the game stuff, Jet Set Radio, they're going to bring the graffiti game back.
They have a game similar called Hi-Fi Rush.
Are you going to be able to upload your own images into the new Jet Set Radio like you could the old one, and put porn all over the city?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
That's what I did.
It's user created content. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, White Christmas would be cool to see in theaters. I would love to see Bing Crosby on the big screen, just crooning us to death.
Hmm.
That'd be nice.
I mean, we partied with his granddaughter.
I wouldn't mind that.
Friend of the show, Denise Crosby.
Yes, friend of the show, Denise Crosby. Yeah.
Yeah. Some Star Trek person. I don't know whoever she was.
She was several characters.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I think seeing anything, any movie that came out when you were a kid that you were either too young to see, not allowed to see, not financially able to see, I think it's cool that theaters every once in a while throw the people a bone, or that company is like, here's a classic movie, like Smokey and the Bandit. Go watch it in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the little intro with the guy, and he looks all educated and important before he screening Smokey and the Bandit.
Sure.
Where, you're watching Smokey and the Bandit in the theater, and Burt Reynolds just stands up from the front row, and he, I know he's dead, but
I was gonna say, did he just recently die too?
I don't know. Or like, fuck, I forgot his name.
Was
Dom
he an actor?
DeLuise.
Oh yeah, another very dead actor.
Very dead actor, yeah.
Very dead actor, Dom DeLuise.
What the fuck? What the hell was he ever in besides stuff with Burt Reynolds? Did he have a career before
He
Burt
wasn't
Reynolds?
even in TV. He was in more movies.
Okay. I never thought about that until just now. Because I only know.
Did he star in any movies? No.
I only know Dom DeLuise because he was attached to Burt Reynolds.
He did a Godfather impersonation for Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Men in Tights, that's right.
Yeah, he did. I don't know if he ever starred in a movie, but he definitely did a lot of cameos. He was like, but he was a comedian, so what do you want from him?
Yeah,
he was just a comedian.
All dogs go to heaven. I don't think I ever saw that.
No, there you go. Yeah.
All right. Well, apparently he did things that wasn't attached to Burt Reynolds. Maybe Burt Reynolds was there. We just, it's a voice role. We don't know. We don't have the pictures.
That's true.
It was a long time ago. They didn't take behind-the-scene pictures of voice actors back then, I guess. What's going on here? MetaQuest 3 VR, AR, and Xbox will be able to play it. That's cool. MetaQuest 3. What the hell's that? Obviously it's a VR thing, but
MetaQuest 3 is the so Quest 2 was the latest VR, and now 3 is the new one that came out recently.
I've been watching recently some sort of like the game DCS. It's like a flight sim type of game. No. Well, there's these guys that do like war games in them. And I believe that the guy's got some sort of a head tracker. And you're watching whatever he is looking at. Because the head moves around a lot on the screen, and there's a heads up display that if he's not looking right at it, it doesn't line up correctly. And I don't know. It's kind of cool. What is this? Why is this getting flagged?
I pinned Fatso.
Oh, okay.
I think it's funny.
I guess
that's a Dom DeLuise movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. Blech. I don't know what I was saying.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
It doesn't matter. That's it, really, I think. I don't have anything else. There's a thing on here about bloopers and practical jokes.
That's a. Go ahead.
I was telling Francis before we started that like the show The Office. Not really a big fan of the show. It never really did anything for me. But prior to watching this, I was watching like a half hour, 45 minutes straight of just bloopers, Office bloopers, and they were hilarious. I just don't know if I could stand 10 seasons of the same joke. But it's funny when they fuck up the same joke.
I know. I never got into that. Yeah, I never got into that show, so I can't tell you.
I gave up like leading into season 5. I think is when I bowed out finally, because I was just like, it's the same episode every single show, every episode. Like it's just not going. It's not doing anything for me. But the bloopers
it's meant to be. It's meant to be the kind of show that you can put on in the background and not think about it.
Sure.
Supernatural blooper. I mean, yeah, Supernatural has a lot of bloopers.
Like supernatural bloopers, like
the show, not like ghosts doing like
I was trying to
ghosts slipping on ice or something.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Which would have been cool.
Like how would you
down with that,
like visualizing that? You just I guess it would just be the banana peel shooting out from the floor and just a ghostly voice of somebody just going, "Ah!" and hitting the ground, a thud. Actually, there would be a thud. It's a ghost.
There's your Supernatural. No thuds.
Yeah,
just a whoosh sound.
But we were talking about that, and it reminded us of a TV show back in the day that was called TV's Bloopers and Practical Jokes. Or in the 80s, they changed it up, and it was Super Bloopers and Practical Jokes, because the bloopers were even bloopier, I guess.
Sure. I watched that show.
Oh, I thought it was great. And it was something that you said, too. Bonus content didn't exist. And that was a way to kind of, well, not really a way to get it out there, but it's studios like, we got all this extra footage. What do we do with it? And the guys that were slinging the yo-yos, the cool yo-yos, what were they called? The Duncan yo-yos or something like that?
Oh.
Do you remember? Come on. You don't remember. Damn it. Anyway.
No, I don't know what they're called. I know yo-yos exist though, but yes.
Yeah. But yeah, hosted by a couple. Maybe I'm confusing the yo-yo people with a different show, but it was hosted by a guy or a couple guys. They'd set clips up. There was a laugh track, I think, in some of them, which is weird. I hate laugh tracks.
Paul, by the way.
What?
Yeah. Have a good night, Paul.
Oh. Have a great one. Thanks for tuning in. Awesome. We're almost out of here anyway. But so the bloopers and practical jokes thing, just seeing any kind of bloopers of whether it's movies, TV shows, kids falling down a hill, whatever. The shit's funny. And it got me thinking about what I do when I have a bad day or perceived bad day, or I get fired and definitely have a bad day. Right. There is a video on the YouTubes called, if you want to look it up, it's called The Winnebago Man. And there's a lot of different videos out there of the Winnebago Man, but there's one that's about 27 minutes long. And it's kind of like the definitive. There is one out there called the definitive cut, but no, that's it. The Smother Brothers. Yes. Who is that? Paul. Thanks, Paul. Fuck. Stick to your story, Josh. So the Winnebago Man. There's a version out there that's like 27 minutes long. And after I got home yesterday from getting fired, I sat and watched that and watched the person have the worst day of his entire life. I had a pretty bad day, but it's not as bad as the Winnebago Man's day. And if you're ever having a bad day, go to your YouTube machine, look up the Winnebago Man. There's even a documentary about him. But it's great. A guy trying to put together a industry film for the Winnebago company about their new line of RVs of that year, whatever year it was. And it's all the outtakes this guy has. To the point, his day is going so poorly, he's in one of the blooper scenes or whatever you want to call it, outtakes. He's complaining about the number of flies that are in the shot while he's out in nature. And asking his college intern film crew to take care of the flies, can you? Make sure we don't have any flies in the shot.
I mean, it's an example of what happens when you get frustrated about everything. So
yes, the
Winnebago Man.
There's a point in the Winnebago Man where he doesn't even he flubs a line or something happens and he can't even say anything. He's so frustrated, and all this is not going to work for the audio people, but his hands are up and he's just like, I don't know what to do. He has like no words come out. His arms just kind of swing around. It's great. So I advise all of you out there, if you're having a bad day, watch the Winnebago Man. You'll be in a better mood.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Francis, that's all I got for this week. We went a little long, gave a little extra juice. But, you know, I have been on a schedule for the last 3 years, and I'm tired.
Well, you can sleep in at least.
Yeah, till like 7 or something. But yeah, we'll be back next week to have fun again and have nonsense and have a show about absolutely nothing probably again, because that's what we do around here. Sure. Francis, where can people find you on the internets?
Just go to supergeeked.com for a show. We're not doing a show tomorrow, but we'll do a show next week with some author ladies. So we'll have fun with that. Supergeeked.com. We had an episode last week, just myself and the host Jeff. So you can check that out as well on the same website. And then just follow me at AKA the other guy on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. If you have Blue Sky.
If you have the Blue Sky. Yep. You can follow everything over here. You know, just listen up. Look at the top of the screen. Look at the page in which you downloaded the thing from, the episode. But you can also just email the POI Podcast at gmail.com. Go to the Twitters at POI Podcast. Instagram is at the same thing, POI Podcast. You can call, voicemail, or text. You do so by hitting the numbers on your phone machine. 314-764-7631. It spells out POI Pod 1 if you want some help in remembering it, because nobody ever does. You should do it. Otherwise, you can find Francis and I on the Twitters. As we've talked about, you can find us other places too. If you look hard enough, we might be looking in your window right now. You never know. I need a job. Someone give me a job.
There you go.
Look for my OnlyFans coming up soon. I'll be selling hairy nipple pictures. We'll be back next week. We'll see you then. Bye.